Good evening, everyone. Township of Lacey Caucus Meeting, May 22nd, 2025. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted on the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. We'll rise and have a pledge of allegiance to our flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1, bond anticipation note sale.
You want me to explain?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so every year in May, the township sells their bond anticipation notes. This year, we issued $17,722,000 in bond anticipation notes at an interest rate of 3.75%. Anyone have any comments?
Nope. Great job.
Can I get a motion?
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. LeRae?
Yes.
Mayor Churchill?
Yes. Item number 2, request to post signage Relay for Life.
The organizers of Relay for Life have requested to post signs across town for the event. It's taking place on May 31st at noon at Veterans Park in Berkeley. They want to post signs 1 week prior, and they'll remove them immediately after the event.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's all I have. Motion to adjourn?
Move it.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Township of Lacey Township Meeting, May 22nd, 2025. Adequate notice this meeting was given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws of 1975. Said notice was advertised in the Asbury Park Press and the Beacon and was posted in the bulletin board showing the time and place of the meeting. We'll have a salute to the flag and a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 1, second reading of ordinance 2025-09, authorizing the sale of Block 1869, Lot 13.
Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the sale of Block 1869, Lot 13 on the municipal tax map to Allen and Kerry Baker in accordance with provisions of NJSA 40A:12-13B.
Move it. Second.
Second.
Second reading, yeah.
Seeing none, make a motion to close the floor.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion on the
The
ordinance?
ordinance?
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. LeRae?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 2, we're going to table this evening so that we can bring it back to you in its entirety at our next meeting.
We need to have the Schedule A attached to it, and I don't have that schedule yet. It's not done by the engineer yet.
So we'll officially table that and
All right,
move.
so you're going to carry it
Yeah.
to the next meeting and announce the time, the date of the next meeting, and that way you don't have to re-advertise.
Oh, excellent.
The second reading and public hearing will be June 12th at 6 p.m. right here in this courtroom.
Motion.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 3, second reading of ordinance 2025-11, amending Chapter 269 entitled Peddling and Soliciting.
Ordinance of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 269 entitled Peddling and Soliciting. This is to outline the fingerprinting requirement for all applicants. Second reading, open the floor to public comment.
Seeing none, make a motion to close it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion on the ordinance?
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. LeRae?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 4, Resolution 2025-181, awarding a contract for the Southwest Barnegat Pines Road Improvement Project.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, awarding a contract to Earl Asphalt Company for the 2025 New Jersey DOT Municipal Aid Grant for the Southwest Barnegat Pines Phase 1 Road Improvement Project. This is for Deerhead Lake Drive, Hillwood Road, and Pineview Road, and the project amount is $606,113.13.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. LeRae?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 5, Resolution 2025-182, authorizing the employment of seasonal employees for the Department of Public Works.
Resolution Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the employment of seasonal employees for the Department of Public Works.
Move it. Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Abstain. Item number 6, Resolution 2025-183, authorizing the employment of seasonal employees for the Recreation Department.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the employment of seasonal employees for the Recreation Department.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Abstain.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 7, Resolution 2025-184, authorizing the refund of a building department fee.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the refund of a building department fee issued by the Lacey Township Building Department.
Move it.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 8, Resolution 2025-185, authorizing the refund of deposit monies.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the refund of deposits held for the use of municipal facilities.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 9, Resolution 2025-186, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the payment of township bills.
Move it.
Second.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Item number 10, motion to approve caucus meeting minutes from May 7th, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item number 11, motion to approve township meeting minutes from May 7th, 2025.
Move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And the add-on tonight.
Resolution 2025-187, resolution of the Township of Lacey, County of Ocean, State of New Jersey, authorizing the execution of a shared services agreement with the Lacey Township Board of Education for shared use of an aerial lift through the New Jersey LEAP program.
Second.
Mr. McDonald?
Yes.
Mr. Kennis?
Yes.
Mrs. Juliana?
Yes.
Mr. Larray?
Yes.
Mayor Kurtolo?
Yes. Comments from the committee?
Hold on a second, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Amy, I need to amend my vote on the bills. I need to abstain on T0035.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Comments tonight? Deputy Mayor Kennis.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind everybody that our Memorial Day Parade will be 9 a.m. on Monday, and just to remember and honor those who gave their lives this weekend, and to enjoy the weekend. Those are my comments.
Thank you very much.
Just if I could correct that for a second, I believe it's 10 o'clock.
Is it 10? 9.
9.
Thought it was
I
10.
thought the calendar said 10.
10 o'clock.
Okay, 10.
Whatever.
No,
We'll let
well,
everybody know.
Get there early,
9, a 10, and a whatever.
10 o'clock.
10.
Line up at 9. If you want to see us line up, we'll be there at 9.
If you're there, no.
You have 10, right? Yeah, I have
have
it on
10.
my calendar as 10.
All right, 9, so whatever.
Committeeman McDonald.
Yeah, real simple. We got a nice, easy agenda here today before we head off to the Memorial Day weekend. I wish everyone a happy Memorial Day. And take a moment during this weekend to reflect on how privileged we are to live in this country. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Committeewoman Juliana.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Just to let you know, we had 31 calls for our fire department. Again, we couldn't be here without them. Thank God for them and our men in blue, men and women in blue. Thank you. I was going to mention about that too, about the parade. Make sure you come out. There's a reason to be out there on Lacey Road and watch this parade. It's our way of saying thank you. Put those flags up and be proud of our country. We need to be out there standing up and speaking up for our country, that's for sure. It's a sad day in our country when something that happened in Washington last night happened. It's very sad, and that should not be happening in this country, but things have gone wrong, down the wrong road, and hopefully we're bringing them back to the right road. So that's my piece, and happy Memorial Day to everybody, and I know we'll all be out there on the roads. We've had a lot of little accidents lately, too, in this town, and we need to pay more attention to our driving and less to the phone in our hand and running through yellow lights. That's all. Thank you, Mayor.
You're a great patriot, Miss Juliana. You are. Mr. Larray.
Well, tonight made it simple for sure. Short agenda. Of course, I want to tell everybody have a happy Memorial Day. Remember all the volunteers, service people, and everybody else that this holiday's for. Excuse me. The only other thing I wanted to mention,
It's a little frog in the throat.
what'd you put in this
Making me
water?
want to drink something. I feel like I got a frog.
Was that lifesaver? Is, I know it's coming up, but you're going to hear me reiterate this until the deadline in July. But please, people, if you're involved and you're paying attention, please, let's this year find some school board candidates to run for the school board. I hate to keep beating on this, but it's a very important part of our town. Our kids are our future, and I just want to, like I say, you're going to hear me say it every month until the deadline. Please, let's get some people out there that really care and want to have some input on the future of Lacey Township. And I just want to make one quick note. I was at a wedding this weekend south of here. And as when you run into people, they ask you where you're from and everything. And I'll tell you, the one thing that I heard a couple times was, these are people from adjoining communities around Ocean County, is I kept hearing how nice they thought Lacey Township was. And that's goes from the top to the bottom, because everybody has some input with that. From the government right down to the volunteers and the community. We make a fine community, and it's recognized around our county. So I just wanted to make mention of that. That's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Want to remind residents who have a loved one or a family member or friend, this Saturday at the Elks at 12 noon is their first responders event, and it's very, very important. I'm sure many of us, if not all of us, will be there to recognize their efforts, especially recently. News from our Recreation Department. Please visit laceytownship.org, go to the rec portal, where you can look at beach badges, see every activity, and sign your child up for our summer camp. And that's important. It's a great service that we provide here in Lacey Township for more than one reason. So there's always something here to do in our town, from our school children up to our seniors, and that's because of our great employees. I want to touch on something. I wasn't going to bring it up, but Committeewoman Giuliano brought it up. It was a horrible and awful tragedy what happened to those two very young people outside the embassy. I was right outside embassies myself, not in Washington, D.C., but a week ago today, with my daughter and my wife, and because I like history, and we were looking at that and all the different flags, and just want to reject hatred in every possible iteration and intolerance. I don't like that. It's distinctly un-American when you hate somebody for those reasons, and it's disgraceful, and that murder just should not be happening in this, the greatest country that God ever gave mankind. So I hope we get a hold on it, and I hope we start to change some minds of our youth in certain ones of these universities, because that's going to be who's leading and sitting in these seats tomorrow in those very important and prestigious universities. So I hope they have the right mindset, and I hope they love their country. It's a shame I have to question that today in May of 2025. With that, I'll open the floor for public comment.
Mayor, I have one more thing.
Yes, sir.
This is right up Mrs. Giuliana's alley. I would recommend to people to be very careful with the fireworks they're going to set off this weekend. You've got dogs that just don't like them, and sometimes people don't like them.
I don't like
Well, I would tell everyone, get it done by 8, 9 o'clock at night, and that's it. Be safe with them, but let's get it done by 8, 9 o'clock at night, and people can enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
And let me dovetail on that. There's another reason. We love our dogs and our cats and our pets. There's a lot of veterans in this town. We have 2
That's right.
senior communities. They got PTSD, and they hear those things. That's a bad situation. That's a whole episode. You need a licensed person, medication. That's a real thing. That's a
Right.
real thing.
Very true.
So please be cognizant of that. The dogs and the veterans, they can't deal with that stuff. So thank you for reminding me, both
Yeah,
committeewoman and
good
committeemen.
memory, good memory.
Committeemen and committeewoman, thank you so much. Open the floor for public comment.
Come on, Barry, you got 2 minutes. You gotta be out of here.
We'll even give you 5.
Barry Bender, somewhere in Lacey Township. Yeah, it's a week from Saturday. I'll be running around for the next few days like a lunatic, for sure. We still got to get the salad settled. I try to keep it in here, and there's nothing in here anymore, so it's a problem. But yeah, May 31st, Survivor Lunch. Anybody who watches this on TV who's a cancer survivor, you can bring a guest. Just walk right in. The food is ordered. I got that done. So it's going to be really good stuff. And then at 2 o'clock, we start the opening ceremony, and then we go till 6 a.m. So there's going to be a car show also there. We're hoping that a lot of people come out. Good weather, okay? There was only once, a number of years ago, where in the middle of the event, the sky opened up and there was all kinds of lightning, and that was before they built the lights. So I had to crank down the lights while the lightning was coming down. We won't have to do that ever again, but knock on wood, no rain. We don't want any rain, and look forward to seeing everybody out there.
I talked to the organizer of the car show. You'll see him at the meeting very shortly.
He lives up the street from me.
I do know that. He's a good friend of mine. I'm part of that club. I will be awarding a trophy for the Heroes Award, hopefully to a fireman or a fire truck that day. But I want to recognize my colleague Amy here, who wrote us, there's no me, there's us, a proclamation that I will read on stage over there as mayor.
Great.
Because as you know, all things public health are near and dear to me, so I'm looking forward to attending.
Yep. Let's get nice weather, too. Thanks very much. I'm heading out.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks, Barry.
Thank you,
You
sir.
too.
Any other comments this evening?
All right, how are you?
Andy Maciolik, Maciolek. Did you get it? Got it. Okay, first of all, I got a couple of things here that I need I'm going to ask some questions. I hope you can help me. All right, first of all, who's responsible for paving, like in Lacey Township roads? How does that get done? The paving the roads? Who assigns it? How's that work?
There's a process that we go through
Okay,
each
can I-
year.
can you
Each year, so I'll explain a little
Go
bit
ahead.
to you, and I'm sure one of my colleagues will fill in when I
Okay.
find a pothole in my story. So
I got more than
applications
potholes.
are made to the DOT. We do award based on some of those awards from the
Mm-hmm.
DOT. We'll take care of the most needy roads because it's an expensive process, a two-pronged
Understood.
process. Part of it is engineering. The next part is actually pouring and paving. We'll do engineering on one part of the town one year, and then we'll do paving the next year. But it goes based on need. We're on a schedule, and it goes dependent on grant funds that we receive as well. So there's really three parts of it: the grant, the engineering, and the pouring.
Okay, that's through the county?
No.
Negative.
Negative?
There are companies, the county has done and will do county roads,
Roads, I
like
understand that.
614 right behind you, Lacey Road.
But you're responsible for your roads, basically?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Now, the second question is water drainage on the streets. Who's responsible for that?
Engineering.
Because when it rains,
Well, the town's responsible if it's the town streets for the.
It is a town
yes,
street.
and when we're doing an overlay project, we make sure that it's regraded and done properly so that you're not causing additional ponding, or we're addressing ponding and drainage issues when we do redo
Okay.
the roads.
yeah, I
Yes.
just want to know who's responsible because.
It depends on who owns the road. So our roads are
It is
ours,
your
county
road.
or county.
Okay. So when it rains, I have a nice puddle, more like I call it a lake in front of my house, my neighbor's house too. So
Here's
it's
what
just
you
a couple
do.
of.
I'm sure our DPW knows about it already, but give them a call. Somebody will go out and walk the property.
Okay.
And they'll be better able to address it for you.
Okay. All right, very good.
Can
So
you give me the roadway?
1706, that's where I live, Binnacle, Binnacle Road. It hasn't been paved since I've been there 35 years.
Yeah, Casey created a schedule many years ago.
Okay.
in which we follow it going around the town, because we had this schedule would make no sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we follow the schedule.
I got you, because I've been here almost 35,
Yeah,
35, it hasn't been done since I've
And
been
mine,
here.
mine was
And-
made when I first moved in 25 years ago.
The road's not only potholing, it's cracking. I mean, eventually, there's no road left there, there's no color left. It's pretty soon it'll be dirt, if we keep it going, so That's my concern
I'll
about
have,
that.
I'll have Casey go and take a, or, I mean, we're gonna need a condition like this out there.
Yeah,
in
it's
order
out
to
there
see.
right now. If you go by my house right now, it's there.
If it's sunny and dry, it
Yeah,
doesn't work.
It'll dry up in a couple of days. It goes quick. But when it does rain, it is a flood. you know.
Yeah,
Take
so-
some pictures, too.
Oh, I could have brought them tonight, but I said,
You
I'll
can
just
always
ask
take
them.
pictures and email them as
Yeah, I
well,
got
so
you.
especially, because I don't know what the weather's supposed to be like
I'm just
tomorrow.
asking questions, that's all. It's like,
Yeah,
you
perfect.
know, I've been living with it since I've been here, so. There's a couple of things, and please don't take this personal, because I'm not trying to tag you guys, but I was kind of disappointed, which is very important, is the school board meeting, the last one, none of you guys were at. At least I didn't see any of you there. And they turned it down. Thank God they did, because they want to raise our taxes again, and for what, 7-point-something%, whatever that was. And the kids weren't going to get what they needed anyway. They were going to have to, group them together. The busing was going to, there was a lot of things. It would have been a nightmare if that thing passed. So now it's left up to the state. And there was a lot of talking going on in that auditorium that we need to go to Trenton. We need to get an organization. You guys involved, all the Ocean County, pretty much Tom's River, they voted it down too. We need to go to Trenton and tell them, the problem is they cut the funding to the schools in Ocean County, not up in the other districts, but here. And that's a big problem, and that's why we're hurting.
All right, so there's a couple things. Let me answer you, and let
Go
me
ahead,
address that.
please.
All right, so number one, we're going to have a new governor from whatever party it's
Oh,
from.
I'm praying for that one.
We're going to have a new governor, and we will, God willing, revisit this school funding program. Number two,
Good.
I can speak to you factually that every colleague up here has attended recently
I've
or
seen-
within the last couple of months, a school board meeting. In addition, we have two members up here. I served in 2024, but I've deferred to Committeeman LeRae, who was a school board member for many, many years,
I got it.
and, of course, Committeeman McDonald. And they meet quarterly with the school board and the superintendent and the business administrator. So there's an open line of communication that takes place here.
But I understand that, but we don't get none of that information, okay? We don't see it. That's always behind the doors. We don't see, so we don't know what's going on, okay? All I'm just saying is this is very important stuff now. This is serious stuff, and we need our township to back us.
Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
A lot of the stuff that we hear in the liaison meeting is for private, so it'll come out, because again, it's not a spitball. Can you do this, can you do that? So that makes no sense in bringing it out.
But you can understand where we're coming from. We're left in the dark because we have no idea, and all we hear about is they're going to raise taxes, and we got, what, 9.9 last year?
Do I think they could do a much better job? The answer is yes.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
I think they're trying to do some things that are very complicated. And again, if they get it out in the public, it's going to be a worse disaster than it is now.
I got you. Well, here, then there's,
And Andy, I want to make a comment on that, too.
Go ahead,
Because,
Bob.
as you know, I've made quite a few of the schools.
I know you have, I saw you there. I'm just talking about the last one, Bob.
This came up, I think, last meeting here, too, why we're not at more of the stuff. I had a choice to make before I ran here. I could have ran for the school board, or I could have ran for the township committee. This time, I chose the township committee, and thankfully, they made me liaison to the school board. With that said, we are in constant contact with them, we do go. But I also have a life, so I'm not going to be able to make every single meeting. With that said, because even though we do go, a lot of times we absorb, we hear what everybody says. We know what's going on at the meetings. Yes, very seldom you'll see us get up and speak at the meetings, but we do know what's going on at them. So don't ever think because our presence isn't there that we're not concerned or we're not paying attention, because we do try to make as many as we can. And as you know, through the past couple months, especially with what's been going on, more than ever, there's been township committee members going, even though, as we all get frustrated, we only got so much say and power when it comes to them, but we're trying to keep on top of it the best we can. And to reiterate what Tim had just said, a lot of the backroom stuff is backroom work that, is tit for tat sometimes, and it's just, but much to my surprise is the amount of time so far, this few months I've been on here, that I have spent with the school board and on school board issues, because I go home some weeks going, which board did I run for? Because between emails and back and forth and some of the people in the public and everything, you get, you know what, we signed up for this, and that's why I keep saying, I want to really, I was so disappointed last year when you got issues this big, this concerning, this impactful to this town, and nobody wants to get involved. And I understand why somebody wouldn't. Words are words, but actions are greater than words. So I don't want to hear, and I'll be as blunt as I can, the crap that at over 29,000 people in this town with an issue this big, that we can't get competent candidates to run for the Board of Education. Because it's the biggest impactful thing here. And I want people to watch this on TV. I want them to hear our comments. Because you know what? The kids are important, and they are tomorrow's future. And this school district, yes, I served on it for 12 years. It was 15 years ago. It was something to be very proud of. My kids got a good education. This district was ranked up with the top of them. People moved to Lacey for the school district, and we know that has changed over the last 10 years
Changed a
or
lot.
so. And we need to get back there. I hear all the comments that everybody says. I try to attend pro and non-pro meetings. But it's a very big issue, and we really got to get concerned people out there. And I would really like to see some more people get on the school board that's got kids within our district.
That'd be great.
Because right now, we got a school board with one board member with children attending our school district.
Right.
And I think that's a shame.
I agree with that. So I got one more point, and then I'll end it with that. I know you're tired of hearing about this, but the park by my house, they never cut the grass. Where I thought they were.
I'm
thought
going
that-
to take this if I may.
Okay, because I thought they were going to at least cut the grass. I mean,
Okay.
it's this high. Now, let me say something before you interrupt. If I let my grass go like that, I get fined, correct?
Right.
Over 18 inches, yes.
Yeah,
And
it's
you're
over,
right.
it's over
Okay.
18 inches, so, just to let you know, I
So
mean.
something that we all should take into consideration. The people who do most of our work are DPW workers, are firemen in this town.
I heard the story.
It's not a story. No, it's
No,
not
I
a
mean,
story.
I heard what was told, okay.
They were very busy for 10 days straight.
I understand.
They didn't have
did
much
their job
time
with
to
fire.
do much of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And we are, we're getting on our parks as fast as we can, and we are getting out there as fast as we can, and it'll be taken care of as fast as it can be.
Yeah, we got behind schedule because of the fire, unfortunately.
Okay, but, all right. So what was I going to say with that? Okay, going back to that park, I've been down here for 35 years, and I have a 4th of July picnic every year. Not on the 4th, always falls, but whatever. And my family used to come down, and we used to go there used to be a beach there, by the way, years ago, and we used to go there and play. Now they come to my house and they say, well, what's going on there? There's no more access to the water because you put, the rocks are there for the beach erosion and stuff like that. So we turned a nice beach into that. So I'm just trying to be funny here. They should change the name of Forked River Beach because there is no beach. It just be Forked River area or whatever because there is no beach there anymore. So, but to tie this whole thing together with the street, with the road and everything, if the taxes keep going up the way they're going, I might have to sell my house because I'm retired now. So I'm not working anymore. I'm retired, so I'm going to set income. So if things keep going the way they're going, I don't get to raise as much as the taxes going up. I'm going to have to sell. Unfortunately, I love the town, but there's no more beach there for me to enjoy. So there's really nothing for me here. My daughter graduated from Lacey Township. She married a guy who lives in Virginia. They're down there. So I was thinking about keeping my house and maybe renting to go down there. But now, the way things are going, I might have to sell it. So, we need leadership like Donald Trump. He's a leader. He's not afraid to defend anybody. He does the will of the people. And that's what I think we need, that we all need to step up, and show some leadership. And what's happening to this area is because of what's happening in Trenton. And we should stand up. We should all get together. I don't care, get buses and go there and march on Trenton and say, no, we're tired of this. You guys created this mess, now you're going to fix it. And thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Other comments, please? Any other comments this evening?
I just got a quick question.
Name, please?
Denise Vaccaro.
Last name? Okay.
She's
thank
got
you.
it now, doesn't she? Mr. Leray will tell her. I have a quick question. Maybe Veronica can answer this. We don't have a town-wide garage sale?
No, but if an organization would like to head one up and do it, and we've talked to the PTA numerous times that they've inquired, and other nonprofit organizations, they've inquired, we've told them to go ahead and do
So
it.
it has to be a nonprofit?
No, it doesn't have
So
to be
I'm
that.
asking me, like, I'm, you know,
If you wanted to ask all your neighbors around you to have a yard sale, you could go right ahead and do
how
that.
many do you have to have, though?
You don't.
One, you could do, you
Like,
can run your own yard sale.
No, I know I can do my
Where
own
Regina
yard sale.
lives, her neighborhood,
I know, they do. That's
They do
what,
it,
that's
they
what
do
I'm
one,
referring
they
to.
collectively come in, so they have, you know, I'm gonna say like a captain of the neighborhood, they come in and they have, you wanna join, they come in with a list, they provide the list to the clerk's office, we issue the permits, and then they come and pick them up, and then we advertise those permits for that particular weekend.
Each person still has to pay?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. That's
$5 for two, it's $5
Yeah, I
for
know.
two,
I just
$5
wasn't
bucks.
sure. I just wasn't sure because
$5
I
for
thought
two
the
consecutive days.
town-wide meant like the town was participating with us to help us.
Well,
Be a
and we,
nice, good senior thing, but that's what I was just saying. What was that?
It was only complimentary, I heard it.
Okay,
No,
I promise you.
I was talking to the senator here.
okay. Because I'm going to make you come to garage sale now.
No, that's not happening.
But
Okay, so
Denise,
basically
with
that's
that
it.
though, because like Veronica brought up Regina, because she, I don't live far from her. And even with that, I mean, they used to do a really good job with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
It was, I noticed the last couple of years, it's almost like everything in our society right now. That's even dwindled down
Yes.
to
Yeah,
almost
it
nothing.
has, I know.
Pheasant Run used to do one too.
It just,
really?
Mm-hmm.
I thought with the taxes and everybody having their little financial crisis, I was like, okay, I know that we're allowed to have it, I know you can pay for it, I know this, and that. I just didn't understand if the townwide meant that, okay, we're gonna, let you have it on, July 5th, and,
If somebody wants to set them
Organize
up and
it,
organize
they
it,
can do that.
they can go right ahead, but that's not on us to do
The
that.
PTA, number of years ago, the high school PTA organized it. The president, it was Mrs. Slota, organized it, and the town waived the fees for the, and I don't even think it was $5 back then. So this organization came in, and you had to sign up with this organization. They came in and got all the permits. They brought you your permit, plus they gave you like a balloon to hang off of your mailbox.
Oh, okay.
And then what they did is, her husband was a police officer. He broke down the streets based on our sectors in the police department, and Mr. Walsh can tell you.
I didn't know how to do that either.
But,
Okay.
right, so that's what I mean. So we took it, we broke it down into the sectors so that all like areas were all bulked together. Because otherwise, if you just had a big run-on list, you'd be going back and forth all over town. So that's
Yeah.
what the PTA did one year. Now, several times PTAs have asked, and we said, okay, this is how you do it. But they've never come to do it. And all they'd have to do is ask for the town to waive the fees for that one weekend.
And the advertisement is all just
Well, we
through-
post as a courtesy, we post a list of garage sales on our municipal website, just as a courtesy. But the
Okay.
PTA had a nice list, and again, you could go to, each house had a stack of the lists. If you stopped at your house first and I didn't have my list, I could grab one. They supplied that to all of the anybody that was coming around to do their shopping.
Okay.
Yeah, it was really nice. They broke it down into, like I said, the sectors of our
Yeah,
community.
because I'm terrible with directions, so, thank God for GPS. I wish I would
And
have invented that.
we would gladly announce that in our public comments.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
We know a few people,
So what was that look for?
we know a few people,
I'm messing with you.
What the heck?
Oh, he gets enough looks.
a few people do watch this.
Okay, and then also, well, you have to take this how you take it, but I know you guys are dealing with a lot of kids and teenagers, and now summer's coming. I don't want to see any kid get arrested either. I don't know if the rec can help them. I don't know if we have anybody on the committee that can suggest where these kids can go, what they can do, how to keep them busy. And if they do get in trouble, well, you know what? There's a lot of seniors who need help picking up things, mowing, all kinds of stuff like that. I
Denise,
don't
there's
know.
no shortage of activities for our kids. We have a
Good.
Whibbit, we have
the
wonderful
Whibbit.
parks. We have an active rec department, we have an active municipal alliance, there's sporting organizations. There's no shortage of stuff to do here in Lacey Township. There is no, next week, we're gonna have a lake cleanup. We have civic opportunities here, not only for cleanups, but for our civic groups. So there's activities anywhere and everywhere. We need the kids to put down their social media, put down their iPhones and iPads,
Parents step up.
and have parents
Yes.
step up.
Yes.
You can't, what you're saying is talking about, you can't legislate family activity. That just has to be organic and come from the home. But we have the offerings. It'd be different if we offered
I
nothing.
didn't know if you had anything for the
We do.
teenager ones,
Yeah.
is what
There's-
I'm saying.
there's stuff for
I know
everybody.
I know you have a lot of little ones. I know the Whibbit, I know the parks, I know the lakes, I know all that. I don't have babies.
The
and I don't have
police are
teenagers,
on
so
that.
that's why I'm asking.
There have been wilding, quote-unquote, wilding incidents in Edison.
Yeah.
And we're very cognizant of that here for our tourism in this county and in our place here at home. And the police are on it. This is a police force with a police force, not only with a lot of experience, but a lot of academic capital and a lot of certifications. So I know they are on it because I speak with them about these things. So
No, I believe it. I'm not questioning that.
We're doing
I
it.
just want to, again, don't forget, maybe the seniors, they can do things for seniors. I'm going to stick up for them until I'm blue in the face with that.
Of course.
So the kids that unfortunately do get in trouble or get caught, they go before juvenile conference. They don't even go before the municipal judge because most of them are minors.
Minors, right.
And they do have to make restitution most of the time for the damages that they've caused.
And they
We get a
should.
lot of damage in our parks, we really do. The bathrooms get hit really, really hard. I mean, our officers can tell you that. So there is restitution and there is community service. And you're limited to what you could do for community service. You just can't go and help a senior.
Okay.
Okay, so
They
there
can
are-
paint the bathroom, though.
They could have to paint the bathroom, they could have to pick up litter, they could,
Right, right.
have to,
Go
do
to the
other things,
parks
yeah.
and help pick
Yeah,
up.
and you're limited to what they can do by law, so, because they're minors.
I know. Where is it written, though, what they can and can't do by law? Do you know where that
Probably
is?
judges.
Oh, I should ask you. Come on,
Yeah, just,
Well,
help me out. I don't know the answer to that.
well, there are child labor laws, so.
and OSHA laws and POSHA laws.
And POSHA laws, so.
The mama
It has to
laws.
be
What about the
reasonable.
mother and the father? What do they do?
That's a good question what the mom and dad does, and that's part of the reason why you have the problem to begin with.
He's not gonna show up here now.
Ask Tyler. Tyler will tell you what you can and can't do. He was in it.
He had the mom and dad laws.
Exactly. Exactly.
So that's it. That's what I say. Sports is good. I just like to know some repercussions. I hate to say it, but I do like to know the repercussions between the parents and the kids. And if not, bring them down my way.
We do have a
I'll
few-
show them some.
We do have a few kids paying restitution right now.
Can I see them? Can I join that committee? Oh, is it?
There's a lot that goes on.
Oh, okay.
Right,
Yes,
that's, there's
exactly.
a lot of stuff that we're
Because they're
not.
minors.
And it's also, there's HIB laws. I don't know, I'm sure you know what a HIB law is, right? So we can't talk about a lot of stuff that goes on,
Okay,
okay? But we
That's
have-
okay.
we
That's
have a
what I want to
lot-
know. I want to know
We
something.
have a lot of programs.
Good. Okay, well,
Just hold the parents responsible would be really great.
They're not allowed to cut grass.
No.
they're not allowed to. Yeah, I understand the parents are,
Yep.
again,
Yep.
should be held accountable.
Yep.
Okay, that was it. That's harmless. Thank you.
you.
Have a nice
Thank you.
holiday. Thank you
Have a
for
good
everything.
morning. Come out for the parade, it's beautiful.
I always come out.
All right.
I always help them over there, too.
Good,
Always.
thank you.
Any other comments this evening?
Ed Jarrett. I just wanted to come in and kind of preempt, because I don't want to spend my summer in here coming to the meetings. He already touched upon it about the mowing. I understand that completely. But we never got the answers of what is the plan for down at that park. Are we going to mow readily? Because we don't have any turtles anymore. We call turtle signs down. We were going to have meetings. We were going to do things over the last 2
We
years.
had meetings.
So I haven't heard.
Did you
Yep.
come to the meeting?
I didn't get an invitation. We've been on the email list. I never got anything.
Glad we published it.
We
and
had
everything
it
else.
published, there was,
I wish somebody had
So
just.
let me give
'cause
you an update here.
Yes,
So
let me know where we're
We had
at.
a meeting, and Stan Hales was there from us, Barnegat Bay Partnership with his
Okay.
associate Bailey, and they had highlighted a lot of ideas, and there was a lot of interaction from the residents that were there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
probably well over 100
we all got
people.
asked whether we wanted to mow or not, but that email
Okay,
list,
well,
I
okay,
wish it had
so
told
we
us to
had
come
to
to
let
the
her
meeting. I wish that would have used to let us
the whole
know.
thing.
Yeah.
So we had to get
she'll
some
know.
direction out of the DEP as to
Yep.
what we can mow and what we can't mow, and it came to the decision that we can do more than we're doing, okay?
Okay.
Some of the permit requirements have expired. So we came up with a plan, and part of the plan is to remove some of the invasive species that shouldn't be down there, that come through the natural winds or the birds and the bees, right?
Right.
So we're going to be moving some of that stuff. We're going to mark out the plants that we're all gonna move within the next week or two.
Okay.
Stan is going to help us mark out the invasive species. We got a price for a company to do it. I'm not paying that price for the
Right,
company to
right,
do it, so we're
right.
gonna remove all of that in-house ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're in the process of getting some orders together to order up some flowers and plants that we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
put into the flower garden. We're taking out the turtle garden, and we're gonna regrade that and reseed that, so that will have grass in it as well.
Okay.
Mrs. Doyle is removing some of her plants that she wants to save and put onto her property, and I believe Mr. Bender was helping her this week do some of that, and then we will be mowing some of that and bringing that into line with the rest of the area.
Okay, all right.
You
So,
just, again, we got
Just
delayed
needed to get
because
it-
of
yeah,
the forest fire,
right.
unfortunately.
Yep.
And so now we're just trying to play catch-up and doing, some of those things. But,
All right.
yeah, there is a whole plan,
any- well-
and it will be more consistent mowing.
Yeah.
That was all part of
was
it.
there anything talked about, it was originally supposed to be low-lying, it was supposed to be low-level type planting?
Well, we're gonna, so
Is there any of the tall stuff that some people said, I don't want to mow? Now I've got stuff that's 12, 14 feet in front of our house. We can't even see the Barnegat light, and that's kind of why we moved there, the water and the Barnegat light. I can't even see it out the bedroom window
Well, I'd
anymore.
have to see what you have there. That might be one of those
Yeah.
invasive species that's gonna
Right,
get
'cause it's
removed.
just,
I
it's
don't
just,
know
it's
until I
getting
see
bigger
what
and
we
bigger.
see-
But that's
we
what I
see
thought the meetings were going to do, was kind of really let us know what was going
Well,
to
we
happen.
weren't gonna go and identify plant by plant by plant,
Right.
and if something doesn't need to be removed, we're not
Right.
going to remove it, because
Right.
we wanna make sure that the area is vegetated, but we were
Okay.
replanting the flower beds that come in,
Right.
and there, when you come in, we're gonna do a little bit more flower
Right.
planting, to keep the birds coming and the bees coming and the butterflies and stuff like that coming, and less maintenance to the area, and we were
Right.
gonna leave the grass a little bit higher,
Mm.
so that it cut down on the geese traffic.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess, are
I'm
there
waiting
any notes
for-
of any of those meetings or anything that was had, all this stuff that was talked about?
All
Were
this
there
stuff
any-
was talked about at those meetings.
All right, but is
And
there any,
actually
is there any
a-
minutes of those
You didn't
meetings?
come to the community hall meeting?
We didn't know about it, so,
When Mr. Hales was there and he gave us a PowerPoint presentation,
no, I didn't even hear about that, so that's just
there was a lot of
again.
people there.
Yeah, so we must have missed
Your
it
wife was
somehow.
there.
She might have been,
Your
but,
wife was there.
yeah,
Yeah,
all
she
right.
was there for that meeting. She knew
All
the
right.
whole instruction. She
All right.
was there with Donna.
All right.
They were all there, and they heard, we went through the whole thing.
Okay.
Of what we were gonna do.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't
Yeah,
get,
so
I
I'm waiting
didn't
for a
get anything
meeting
from
with
her on
Mr.
that.
Hales so we can
Yeah.
walk the site.
All right.
He wasn't capable to do it this week, so we're
right.
waiting to go out there,
Okay.
and we're gonna
All right.
mark out what needs to be pulled out and stuff like that.
So are we gonna mow through the summer, or we're just gonna do it once in June and once in,
And it's gonna
just
be
gonna
continual.
continual to keep it at a certain
Continual. It
height?
will get put onto the normal schedule.
All right, sorry, I didn't want to waste any time there.
No,
It's
no,
an
no.
Early meeting,
All
thank you.
good questions.
All right.
What is that schedule, Veronica?
We don't know right now.
I didn't ask Rob what our normal schedule is to mow. I think we almost mow, and again, since we're gonna keep the grass a little higher there, I don't think it will be mowed as much as Gilly Park and Hebrew Park, where the playing fields are, and Clune Park, because I think we're mowing every 3 to 5 days there. It's gonna be a little bit longer, because we wanna keep the grass a little higher, and
That's good.
we're gonna raise the bed of those mowers
It's
there.
reasonable, we got everybody to put.
No,
So you're gonna see
You wanna
it
get-
probably mowed at least every 7 to 10 days at a minimum, instead of what we used to do.
So we'll see you in October, we'll see how the summer goes, we'll see how it all looks, and we'll see you in October. Thank you so
Thanks.
much.
Yes, sir, Mr. Bitnick. Mr. Bitnick, I just got to tell you, tonight, last week, you were over 18 minutes, and I have to observe
yes.
the,
You were very generous.
we're going to, it's the people's microphone, but we-
Yes. I think I was last too, right?
and we have Rules we got to follow. so
Intentionally last.
Fire away.
Okay, good evening, Mayor, Township Committee members, Lacey citizens. First, I want to start off with Memorial Day, and I'm speaking to the members of our public who are going to be watching from TV. It's very important that our parents, the parents of our young children today, that they actually educate their children about what Memorial Day really means. A lot of kids just think it's just a holiday. It isn't. My father, a highly decorated World War II veteran, fought so I could be up here speaking, along with a whole bunch of other people, and given our rights and our freedoms. And I think that, you know, it's good to go to places like the Veterans Cemetery, which is where I will be. It's a stark memory of all the people who either gave their life or fought for our freedoms. And I can't express enough to the parents in our community how important it is that you educate your children about something like this, because our country is in turmoil right now, and there's a lot of young people hate America. I mean, I read about it every day. They're fighting for causes that they don't even begin to understand in foreign countries. The hatred is outrageous, and it's kind of like we as a nation need to embrace the beauty of America. This is the one country where anything is possible in life. You could be a pauper and make yourself into a millionaire with drive, determination, and focus. So we need to remember that, and it's really, really important, and embracing that. So I just wanted to mention that to our parents out there who have these young kids. It's really, really important. Another thing, part two, is Mayor Cottarello, I sent you an email on the 13th of May. Did you receive that email?
I was out of the country on that day. I apologize for that.
You sent it to his township account?
Yes.
Listen, I'll respond to it in the morning. I'll call you in the morning. I mean, I just did not receive it for whatever reason.
Okay.
I did not see it.
It was forwarded. I'll forward it again.
Yeah, because I never received any type of an acknowledgement, so.
I had some issues with, I have a new phone. I had some issues logging on out there across the pond. But I did get a lot. I don't recall seeing it. We'll fix it tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Talk tomorrow morning. Is your contact information in there?
Well, yeah.
Good.
So anyway, moving on with that, the issue of the email was basically about my frustration and unhappiness with the Township Committee and their position of not saying anything about what's going on at our schools publicly by condoning it. Basically, that's my feeling, is if they raise the taxes by 7, 8, 9, 10%, by saying nothing, you're actually condoning it. And what my concern about all of this is that last year we had a fiscal crisis in our community with a 10% tax increase that inflicted on our families. Now, this year, they were talking about 7.5%. That's still like 18% increase over 2 years. And you know, I have to say this, a lot of people in their everyday life, we could plan before with a 2% cap. If this is going to be the way it's going to be moving forward, no one will be able to plan or adjust, especially people who are working on a limited income. And so this is the reason why I feel it's important, as the leaders of our community, that you step out of this position of trying to stay neutral, and that you actually go out there and say, you know what? We need to stay within the 3.15% cap that we're legally allowed and just get to work and do the job and get it done. And yes, there's going to be pain. You know what? There's going to be pain with some of the stuff that our president wants to do with tariffs and stuff. It's just to get to where we need to go, sometimes there has to be pain. And parents need to understand this too. I've listened to all ends of the conversation. I mean, everybody wants everything. The problem is it's not possible. And the other concern that I had in the email that I sent to you is that if we continue to allow the school to do this, there isn't going to be any money for the things that you're going to want to do. Because we're going to be so tight fiscally with the taxes constantly going up that there's only so much in the pie that you can take. So the issue too is that you need to start getting out there and saying what I'm saying and fight for the taxpayers in this town. And you know, I have to say this, If you aren't making enemies left, right, and center, you know you aren't accomplishing anything in politics. It is impossible to stay neutral and have everybody like you. What about your history? When you leave, what are people going to think about you in the
Okay.
future?
I want to respond to that. I
Okay.
appreciate that, because now I know the gist of what your email is. We'll have another conversation tomorrow morning. I don't take anything lightly, and what I said on January 1st, this is the third time I've been sworn as mayor. I stand up for the people. I'm not too good at laying down. I speak my heart. Sometimes a disconnect between my heart and my brain, but that's the way I'm cut. That's the cloth I'm cut from. It's how I'm dialed in. Last time we spoke, it was May 7th. I'm going to tell you in a minute about May 8th. The next morning, I got a call from one of the school board folks. I was on the phone with her for 22 minutes. And I will tell you, so I did say some things on the meeting, May 7th, when we all last met and you and I spoke. And I told you some ideas that I had for the school. The longer this goes on, and the more hikes there are on the school board side, the more people that are going to start to agree with you. You're going to have that on your side because you're talking about money. And when you talk about money, people pay attention. I said to you, I don't misfoot around these issues. What I said to you was schools need to be accountable. We don't want or need to be in a lower quartile. We want our school scores to be higher. We want accountability if we're going to spend people's money. I'm being as clear as I can be here. I said this before, so I'm not playing a safe line. There's going to be people that don't like what I'm saying. I am up for re-election this year, but I've always been here to defend what's right. And accountability is right. It's right for you, it's right for me, this township, and our schools. So what I said to the colleague that I spoke with on the phone, after speaking with you at the meeting on May 7th, I was on the phone with her on May 8th, and what I said was, insofar as accountability, if you're going to take the folks' money from our town, tell them what you're going to do. Post it on your website. Number two, leverage your website. You have about 4,000 kids, roughly, or a few hundred less in the schools. Monetize that footer on that website. Send it out to those families, not just the kids. It's all the families, 3.2 kids, 2.3 kids, a mom, a dad, different extended family,
Right.
all around. There's opportunities more so than a 3-foot hard vinyl banner from a company around the circumference of the field, the football field. So there's opportunities. I've said that to you last week. I'm being as clear as I can this week. Everyone can hear this. This will go on a loop. I'm not going to sit and badmouth our schools or muscle my good colleagues because they're taking a lot of heat and they do work hard. And like Mr. McDonald said, some of these things are nuances. Some of these things are difficult. We will have a new governor. You're going to see some change, but I don't know what more you want. I've been very vociferous.
I have
see
some ideas of what I would do if I were the mayor.
Okay.
One of them was I would have been doing this a month ago. I would have been calling the Ocean County superintendent, especially, which I did, quite frankly, and I would have spoke to her and I would have just said, you have to realize whatever decisions are being made, which she's part of the decision-making process, that it is going to affect a lot of the households in our community in a very negative way. I had a very long conversation with her about the real nitty-gritty of what this will do to our town.
Let me interrupt. Before you goes on any further.
Maybe you did talk to her, I don't know.
What I said to the school board person I was on the phone with last week was, we can't
It's out of
come
their
back
hands.
for another, we cannot come back next May 6th at a nighttime meeting with the media in the parking lot and have an additional 10 or 15 or 17%. Start to do some of these things. We want accountability. We want improved performance. We want to be supportive in that process. Now, I don't know how much clearer I can be with you.
Well, you could be very clear and just say, do a budget within the 3.15% that you're legally allowed, which is the law, sir. I mean, that would be the logical thing. And yes, there's going to be some pain. But you know what? Quite frankly, we have more problems than just fiscal issues in our schools. I posted a video, that happened last June at a meeting, and all you had to see was from the audience of what is teaching our children and their behavior in public. We have serious issues that go way beyond just fiscal issues with our schools. This is just a matter of fact.
But your assertion that I say nothing and I do nothing, I disagree.
Publicly,
respectfully.
I'm talking about, sir.
It doesn't get any more public than this.
I know, but I want you to come out and say 3.15% is what we agree with. That's what we think is fair for the citizens of our town. You did a 10% tax increase last year. Now, this is as much as we can endure. I know you don't want to step into that element, but we need a
I'm afraid
leadership.
to step nowhere.
Okay.
I fear nothing.
Well-
I'm in good shape.
Okay.
If there's advocacy that needs to be done, I got it
So
covered.
then say it.
I got it covered.
What's the problem?
Mr. Bob Larray, you have anything to say? You have anything to add?
I actually agree with everything Pete's saying, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. The one thing, especially like this year with the 3.1 cap, I don't disagree with what you're saying. The thing is the one thing I've learned up here very, very quickly, and I've sat on boards for a long time, until you're on the other side of the desk, there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration before you spit something out of your mouth or you react. And I would like to see no increase personally.
Well,
but
we
that's
know
not
it's-
reality.
Right.
It's like somebody asked me before I run, can you promise us lowering your taxes? I can say anything I want, but it's not realistic. Okay? With dealing with an issue like this, it's deep, and it didn't just happen yesterday.
That's correct.
And I can't put a number on something until I've seen everything come through.
I know, but
Okay, and the 7.47 or whatever it was that came out, I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with it at all. But with reacting and commenting, I do got to take all the information, whether it's nuances like Tim said, whatever. There's going to be things that everybody's got a different opinion, what's right, what's wrong, and there's a lot of issues. And like I said,
There
I
is.
agree with a lot that's been said, been going on. I go, like I say, I've attended pro meetings, non-pro meetings. I hear the staff. I do not like the way they reacted to you at the one meeting. That was a total embarrassment. And I'm not afraid to say that stuff. The one thing when I ran up here, I'm going on 69 years old. I don't need this.
I know.
Okay? Somebody said something to me today about making a decision. And I said, I don't care. When my term's up, I'm going to be 71. I may run, I may not. You may like me, you may not like me. So I don't have nothing to lose here. And the decisions, like you say, are not always going to be popular. But the one thing is when you do sit here, and this actually goes into something that you've repeated, why you don't run.
Oh,
Because you have more freedom on that side of the mic
correct.
than we do. And that's something you say. So to sit there and hammer us for us not saying certain things.
Well, you can on this issue, though, so-
Well, that's, you got to remember. And there's another area I agree with you. We live in a wonderful country. We have a right to our own opinions, our own thoughts, our own agreements and disagreements. And with that, you're going to say something I might agree with. I may something you might agree with. We may disagree, but that don't make it wrong or right. The one thing I've learned for 40-some years sitting on a board, the only way you move ahead in this life is be able to, number one, understand what gray is. Everything's not black and white. Number two, if you don't have the ability to work with other people, do not run for office because you turn into what I refer to the federal government. You don't get crap done. So you have to listen, learn. We're going to disagree. We're going to try to work together. And that's why I keep hammering on the school board getting members on there. Because to have this controversy, which, why it shocked me and basically pissed me off last year with nobody running, it wasn't like you had two school board members that see eye to eye to each other. You had oil and water running last year.
That's true.
Those two do not get along. They do not see almost anything. But yet neither one could come up with a partner to run against them. That is an embarrassment to our community. And to come up here and attack us for doing nothing, we're more on top of it than you might think. But we can all sit up here, all 5 of us, and say, school board, we don't want to see you increase your budget by 3.1%. You know as well as we do, even though we could say it, and like I say, I'd be happy with 0. Bottom line, it means nothing to them. They run that system whether we like it or not. The county superintendent, as we all know, is a state employee. She's aware of everything you said, and I'm sure you didn't tell her anything new. She might not have wanted to hear it.
Well, there were a lot of things that she didn't understand or know.
but-
She didn't even know the whole budget figures like I did when I was saying that she
Well,
had approved. This was some of the issues that we are dealing
And
with.
that would be surprising because even at the school board meetings on how much stuff has gone back and forth between the school board and it's got to go to the county superintendent, for them to say they don't know, and I
It's the
don't- I don't-
BA,
I don't-
it's the BA who makes the decision,
Yeah.
not the county
And the super-
superintendent,
Yeah.
just to make that clear.
They
So-
they need to correct their process.
Give
I
Mr.
agree.
McDonald an opportunity. He wanted to say something.
I just want to say that we got notice this week, I think it was in the magazine again, or the rally, to expect mid-teen increases in the health insurance again, okay? So, now, that's for municipal. The school board went back into the state, don't know what they're gonna have. They just talked about the municipal side. But this is part of the problem, is this health insurance is outrageous. We're now paying almost $50,000 a year for a family.
But that can be changed in contract negotiations, sir.
No, it cannot.
You do not have to pay for the
We have-
family.
What's that?
You don't have to pay for the family. The employee can pay for it. Look, I know about this, okay?
You're not-
Right, we do have contracts that have it that way.
Right, exactly.
You're correct.
And the school can do that
And what are we
also.
gonna give up to get that?
Well, if people are all going to lose their jobs, sir, my whole idea that I had, this could have been resolved by the suggestion that I had made, which would have meant 1 year with a 10% wage cut.
All right, let me talk to
Okay,
you about
no, let me finish.
Go ahead.
If you're going to, 60 or 70 people are going to lose their jobs, right? And everybody talks about empathy in education. Oh, empathy, except when it comes to themselves, if they have to give up anything. I'm just saying, let's be honest about
Okay.
this. So if we cared about the village that they talk about all the time,
Okay.
right?
Let's be realistic about your 10%, okay? Would you agree to a 10% cut, I'm not done yet, considering the financial stress that the Lacey School Board is under? Because there's a good chance you take the 10% cut, the following year, you're gonna lose your job. I wouldn't do that unless I was guaranteed 2 things. I want to guarantee that for the next 5 years, I don't lose my job. And 2, if I want to go back to the original number that I had. Let's say it was 80,000, I went to 72. I would go back to the 80,000 and then the other step up that I want. I want to be made whole.
Okay, but all those things
And they
can be-
can't do that.
Well,
So your 10% sounds good, but when you really look at it, when you look under the covers, it's a non-starter.
Well, a union negotiation, a union can do a lot. It can give up a lot. There's been no givebacks, I just want you to know, from that union in years and years and years. It's been
I'm not going to
okay.
argue for the union, I'm not
Right.
arguing for that. I'm just arguing at your point. Would you do that? Would you give up 10% of your
Well,
salary?
if it meant I
knowing
was
there's
going
a
to,
good
if
chance
it meant
you
I
take
was
the
going to
job?
keep my job, and I had been working there for 25 years, I'm just saying, if it meant I was going to keep my job and I'm getting closer to retirement, yes, I would do it. And you know what? I'm a little bit different thinking than you people. See, I do believe in the bigger picture. When you're a team member and you call yourself a team member, sometimes we have to do things that are difficult. How many companies have done this? You don't even have a union. They just basically say, if you want to keep your job, you're taking a 10% cut. I'm sorry, these are uncomfortable things to discuss.
But here's the difference. They have a contract. In the private sector, you usually don't have a contract.
That's right, but
Now you're in the contract law, which is a whole
right.
different McGilla.
But the issue is that anything is possible with union contracts if the people can sit down and talk about these things.
Provided the union wants to reopen the contract.
Yeah,
If
well,
they don't want to reopen the contract, the issue is moot.
Well, the unions, their contract is up, by the way.
Well, they can then try to
Just so you
negotiate
know.
that in.
Well, I hope they're going to try to negotiate a lot of things into that contract. But the issue in about all of this again too is that, as I'm trying to say, you say you can't say whatever. As a citizen of our town, you could say, the 3.15 is what we think is the ideal number for the school. That's all that I'm
They
saying.
can only say "I" for each one of
Right,
them, because
that's
not
what I'm
each one
talking.
can speak as a we.
Right, exactly, and I understand that.
Rich, I just did say it. I want 0.
I know, well, we would love that. I mean, I'm trying, to me, the compromise is the 3.15, because that's the maximum amount that they're legally allowed to go to. I mean, let's face it. So I want to leave on a comment, and some people talk about uncompromising. Well, my political hero was a woman by the name of Margaret Thatcher. Margaret Thatcher was known for her uncompromising abilities to get through and change a nation, and she literally did. And I'm going to read something to you because this is something that she kept in her notebook as a reminder of what she was doing. And I want you to reflect on this because it's a poem by a poet, British poet. He was a Chartist poet by the name of Charles Mackay. You have no enemies, you say. Alas, my friend, the boast is poor. He who mingled in the fray of duty, that the brave endure, must have made foes. If you have none, small is the work that you have done. You've hit no traitor on the hip, you've dashed no cup from perjured lip. You've never turned a wrong to right. You've been a coward in the fight. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else for the good of the order this evening?
That is what all is planned. I can't tell you I won't need a special. Okay, that's all that's planned.
Hello, Linda Miller, Forkett River. I could not, I wasn't going to say anything, but everybody else did, so I don't want to be left out.
You want to be left out?
Jump in.
Is your husband going to speak too?
No, he's,
He's just the driver.
yeah, he's my Uber driver. Okay, so all I'm going to say is I hear raising taxes and limited income. Some are in limited income. I don't believe that. Everybody's income at this point right now is limited. So raising taxes in a time when things are limited, it affects every single family. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A second shot?
Just real quick.
Come on up, sir.
Yeah, that's what Richard said.
Andy Masiola again. I just want to say thank you guys for answering my questions. I forgot to thank you. My apology. And Veronica, thank you for looking into that about the street. But you did say something about geese at the park.
Yeah, so so instead of mowing the grass down to like, let's say this height, we're gonna leave it a little higher because the
okay.
geese won't like that.
Okay, I got something to ask you though. There is, the path that goes from the park all the way to the other end?
Down to Inland Road.
Well, the geese like to have their duties on that pathway. Is there any way we can keep, I'm not against the geese, is there any way we can keep them from going on that path?
You figure it out and let me know.
I'll do it.
Because I'd like to keep them out of my backyard.
I'll make something if you want.
I have cement on my backyard.
Because
And it looks lovely.
because when they get gathered, now they got their babies now.
I get it.
It's loaded, it's like their dumpster.
I get it.
And you can't walk anymore.
My backyard's the same way.
So, okay. I'll think of something, I'll let you know.
That'd be
All right.
great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Happy Memorial Day and have a good weekend.
Anything further for the good of the evening? Seeing none.
Motion to close, second.
All in favor?
All in
Aye.
favor? Aye.
I just have one thing to read. I forgot to mention this. Next Saturday, from 12 to 5 at the high school, our Lacey Township Police Department presents the Bicycle Safety Rodeo. I wanted to make sure I got that in there. There'll be lots of stuff going on there. There's going to be a BMX stunt show, so make sure if you have children interested in bicycling, any of that, get them over there from 12 to 5 next Saturday at the Lacey Township High School, and it's being presented by our Lacey Township Police Department. Thank you.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No further business.
No further business.